All right, welcome back to the channel. So, hate to bust the bubble of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua aficionados looking for that fight, but Eddie Hearn ain't quite so sure that fight is going to happen. In fact, he says that Deontay Wilder is a major hurdle. He says hurdle. He means major hurdle to a Fury Joshua fight, and he admits that he has no idea what's going on with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Let's talk about that and what's going to go on with Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua. Let's do that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So I see videos flying here, videos flying there, talking about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury and the negotiations that are going to take place and how they are just so close to finishing that deal to make this the biggest fight in UK history. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury for an undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. All of that sounds spectacular. All of it is nonsense because all of it has problems. But let's talk about it. Eddie Hearn gave an interview yesterday in preparation for a fight card that is coming up this weekend, the Canelo Alvarez versus Liam, or Callum, whatever his name is, the guy from the UK at 168. I know what his name is Callum Smith. That in a couple days, Canelo Alvarez will be knocking out to win both the WBC 168-pound title and the WBA 168-pound title. That is what he will be doing, and that's why Eddie Hearn was talking. That's why Eddie Hearn was doing the interview. In the midst of the interview, though, he is asked about Deontay Wilder, about Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Now, while I'm looking at Eddie Hearn, first I'm thinking, man, you're getting old. Like, you're aging at a rapid pace. Like, his whole, he is as bald as I am, but will not let it go, man. Maybe I should get a toupee, man. But anyway, sitting there looking at him in his toupee, looking stressed out, answering questions like how can I say this, dude? Like somebody that really with all his hearts wants to say no, but he knows that he can't because it'll create such a firestorm. He is in there playing, I can't even how you say it. Basically, is it playing coy? What he was doing was answering questions in a way that would allow you to believe that there was some hope for the fight. But if you listen to his words carefully, he pretty much tells you it ain't done, and more than likely it's not going to be done. Now, what the words he uses are things like this. He says, well, we just got to, it's going to be a real easy thing to work out. We just got a couple little things. There's almost no problems between us, Deontay Wilder, with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. We can agree to everything in like a minute. There may be like the purse split is set. Right there when he said the purse split is set, what's the purse split at? You trying to tell me that you got a purse split set? What, 60-40 for Fury? I mean, 60. Tyson Fury's going to be asking for 50-50 at least, right? But aside from them saying that they got the split done, which I'm like, yeah, sure you got the split done. He moves on to, but we do have this thing with Deontay Wilder's arbitration. Now, strictly speaking, it's in mediation, right? Unless Tyson Fury refuses to work something out, at which point in time it goes to arbitration. But Eddie Hearn was like, I don't know what's going on with the arbitration. I had a good conversation with Bob Arum. It looks like we can agree to all these points. But, hey, man, we got to see how that's going to play out. And then he says, well, we're looking somewhere around the June, late spring, early summertime stuff, right? So if you're a Tyson Fury fan, one of the five, if you're a Tyson Fury fan, and shame on you if you are, if you're one of them Tyson Fury fans, you might think, yeah, we're going to get the fight, man. No, you're not. No, you're not. And let me explain why he is basically telling you, no, you're not. Number one, you always hear that out of Bob Arum and these guys before fights don't take place. Oh, yeah, we can do the fight in 5 minutes. Just give me a piece of paper. We can write it on the back of a napkin. We'll be done. Easy breezy. Right? Easy breezy. Except for this one little thing. That one little thing almost always winds up being huge. But Eddie Hearn himself, look at Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum, the guys that are negotiating for this fight, and you tell me that you think these guys are in a position where it's in their best interest to make a fight with Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And I'm telling you, from Bob Arum's point of view, if I was Bob Arum, I would not want that fight to take place. Why wouldn't I want the fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury to take place if I'm Bob Arum? Because I don't get paid for it. Because I am, as Bob Arum, his American promoter. Bob Arum promotes fights for Tyson Fury that occur in the United States. So, exactly how is a fight that's going to take place somewhere other than the United States and may take place in the UK, right? How is that going to benefit Bob Arum? That is going to have Bob Arum would be losing a gigantic fight with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury and getting back next to nothing unless he negotiates a portion of the promotions for the fight that take place in the UK. And that is something that he himself said on Barbershop Conversations interview, or was it Blue Blood Sports TV's interview with him. He said, I don't get paid for these fights with Tyson Fury outside the United States. So why would Bob Arum want that fight to take place in the UK? Do you think Bob Arum just loves the sport of boxing and doesn't want to earn money? Of course not. Bob Arum wants that fight. If the Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight is going to happen, he's going to want that fight to happen in the United States. The only problem with that is that fight is not going to sell in the United States. And that is when the pandemic is over. Right now, Bob Arum just wants to bide his time. He wants to stop spending money between January and May, and hopefully when crowds come in, he can start putting on major fights in front of crowds so he can get back one of his streams of revenue. That's what Bob Arum is going to want to do. And he originally wanted Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury to take place in February. That's what Bob Arum wanted, because that's what ESPN wants. That's what Fox wants. And I have a suspicion that Bob Arum is going to be working to get ESPN what ESPN wants and to get Fox what Fox wants, because that's where his bread is buttered. It is not buttered over there in the UK. So I don't believe Eddie Hearn wants it. I don't think Bob Arum wants it. I think Frank Warren wants to earn some money off Tyson Fury in the UK, right? Because he's the sole promoter over there. Problem with that, though, Tyson Fury doesn't even have a boxing license in the UK. Doesn't have it, because if he does apply for his British boxing license, he's going to have to address the question of Martin Carefoot and what happened with his positive performance-enhancing drugs test, and the fact that Martin Carefoot said, nah, I falsified testimony to help him out. I recall when Eddie Hearn was talking about that issue, and Eddie Hearn, well, not necessarily the recant from Martin Carefoot, but just the whole Nangelo situation. Eddie Hearn wanted that dude suspended for a while. No, dude, I do not believe that Eddie Hearn wants to allow Frank Warren and those guys to make out like a bandit. And if Anthony Joshua was to fight Tyson Fury, that's what you got to worry about too. You have to worry about this guy trying to make out like a bandit. But I think that those guys, Eddie Hearn and them, are probably a little bit more suited to catch things than maybe people in the United States, because Eddie Hearn just tried to pull over something on Alexander Usyk, where he had Derek Chisora wearing an old pair of gloves that were previously worn in the fight between Dillian White and Alexander Povetkin, and they put the same gloves on Derek Chisora to go in and fight Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk and those guys caught it. I do believe that Eddie Hearn and those guys would be looking for anything from Tyson Fury, man. But that's just, do not look for that fight to happen. And the last thing, most important thing, is that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua ain't going to take a risk with Tyson Fury, because Anthony Joshua can lose that fight. And they're not in the business of proving they're the best. They're in the business of staying around the longest and fighting fights that AJ can win. And that's just what it is. Now, I do believe AJ can beat Tyson Fury, because I think Tyson Fury is a lot of fake. A lot of fake. And Cats figure that out. He's going to get caught eventually. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.